So that's what they're playing for, the beautiful Waterford Crystal Trophy. And of course, should Ronny O'Sullivan win tonight, John, it emulates what the great Stephen Hendry did, a 6 Masters titles.
Yeah, I think we all accept the way that Ronny plays, the ability he has. All the records are there for the taking as far as he's concerned, if he's prepared to dedicate himself to it.
Interesting spectators in the front row. Gem Archer, former guitarist from Oasis, and Andy Goldstein, former presenter at Talk Sport. Only joking, Andy. Very keen, avid snooker fans, of course, always make an appearance down here at the Alexandra Palace.
Yeah.
Well, there's worse nudges you could have.
Six. Seven. Put that camera away, please.
It's always interesting to see how Ronny O'Sullivan goes about making a break. I mean, his priority, he'll be thinking now, how can I get on a red to get the black on its spot? He spotted this one, so obviously the black will go in the opposite corner to this red.
$13. $20. 21.
You'll be a little bit disappointed, just overhit that slightly, played for the blue in the middle, he'll play it in the corner.
$26.
That will annoy him. All them little rubs are going Ronny's way at the moment. Don't know if Barry can just get past this brown to play the pot on this red. Wouldn't have to do anything if he pots it. Bound to be on the black, but don't think he can. Now having to play the safety. And if it runs as it's heading, Well, but for the kiss on the brown, it would have been very good. But he's left Ronny here a long straight red. And he's knocked a few of these in this week.
What a shot. What a shot. It's not only the pot, it's the control as well, isn't it? And how sweet he cued that long red. Absolutely beautiful.
9.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you strike the ball that well, you don't have to hit it particularly hard, you know, and that's what he does. He gets right through the cue ball and gets an immediate reaction.
14.
And that's what annoys him, of course, when his last visit, when he misses an easy red. He thinks he shouldn't miss anything.
15.
But he's only human, after all.
$22. 23.
Getting very close to the point of no return in this frame for Barry Hawkins. 56 points and counting.
30. 31.
You made the point, John. It's also it's like his shot time, Ronny's shot time. It's only 15 seconds per shot now.
Yeah, early on in this match, it was down to 13. I can only think of Tony Drago, who was ever had that sort of average shot time. Well, he needs a red and a colour. He doesn't want to overthink this. In the end, he just
38.
bit the bullet, really. He didn't want to knock the red safe on the cushion, but he knew just by dropping that red in, it'd be nicely on the pink. Pink's all he needs. In it goes. 70 points to lead. 67 remaining. Another frame. But Barry Hawkins
44.
won't be winning.
45. 51. 52. 59.
Put this red, leave a nice angle on the pink so he can dislodge the red that he knocked safe
60.
a few shots ago. Oh, almost.
66.
Well, nearly a lucky 15, but it didn't matter. The frame was well and truly over before that. And apart from the misread, which he didn't leave anything, didn't do a lot wrong that frame. And now he's just one frame away from his 6th Masters title.
Hawkins, it is an amazing achievement.
It certainly is, and it's straight in against the cream of the crop, isn't it? You know, the elite top 16 play in this one, you walk straight through the door and you know you've got a tough match from ball one. I said earlier today in commentary, something in the Crucible, it's the best of 19 early on, but you play a seed there that comes through to play against. The seed plays against the qualifier, but this is right in at ball one, and this is an unbelievable performance.
Now, what can Hawkins do to halt this one?
Well, we said at the start of the evening he's playing for pride. I think now he'd love to get us to the mid-session interval, and to do that he'll have to win the next 2 frames. Barry getting up off the shot. Someone shouts in an opportune moment. But when he came out tonight, and we remarked on it, how he embraced the reception he got, and that's tough to do when you're so far behind.
Absolutely. I think you called it right. You're just, there's a sense of pride that you want to get a few frames on the board. It's happened to me. I know exactly how he feels. I mean, Ronny, great shot. Ronny beat me in the UK final one year, and it was 10-1, and I was just happy to get 1 frame. But that's the situation you're at. You do get a little bit embarrassed out there, and I hope he doesn't, because he's played magnificently all week. But he'd certainly bring the house down if he did get his first frame on the board tonight.
Another excellent safety shot this from Ronny. Air of desperation about that one. I didn't see where the colour was going to come from if he potted the red. Well, nothing at this end of the table, so he's going to have to play the straight blue. Tried to force the cue ball through the reds, but good pot on the blue needed. And blocked. Super cueing.
Six. Seven. Twelve. $13.
Cleverly playing the black, and in pulling the black he can just nudge this red away from the black, make the black available into both corner pockets. That's such a quick thinking snooker brain.
20.
A genius at work, John. That's all you can say.
21.
And the magnitude of this achievement as well is even greater. The fact that his last tournament on the television was back in April at the World Championship, you know, 8.5 months ago.
28.
It's quite incredible.
29.
Yeah, and I was talking earlier on about Barry Hawkins
36.
just playing for pride, but I think that's what motivates Ronny, his pride in performance. That's what keeps him going, that's what enables him, if you like, to come back after a long layoff.
37.
He just wants to show people how well he can play the game, and he gets very disappointed, and some of his interviews afterwards are a bit downbeat, but because he's trying so hard to show people how he can play. And when he's at the top of his game, which he'll tell you that he hasn't been
44.
this week, he is unbelievable. The greatest player ever. And we're here
45.
to witness it.
$50. 51.
I remember a reporter coming up to me once at the World Championship after he'd had the year out, and he came back and won it, and he said, what do you think all the other players will think about the fact that he can have a year out and come back and win it? I said, well, they've just got to appreciate that they're in the era of a genius.
Absolutely.
And it's a fact.
58.
And most importantly, of course, great to see him back. Just wanting one more red
64.
and a colour. You feel for Barry. Put up that great performance against Judd Trump.
55.
He'll be disappointed the way he's played. He's had chances today. But that's frame and match ball, surely.
Yeah. Sixth Masters trophy. What a performance. You just have to admire it. And I'm sure Barry will admire it as well, you know. Away.
$74.
75. He'd love to top and tail this with a century. Believe me, he will try hard to get the ton here. Oh, but not quite. Barry Hawkins will come out of his chair, shake the hand of Ronny O'Sullivan, say well played. Ronny will be sympathetic for Barry, who has not played his best today. But Ronny O'Sullivan, winning the sixth title, proved once again that when he gets his cue out of the case, he is the man to be. 6 times Masters champion, and he wins the Dapperbet Masters by 10 frames to 1. Brilliant!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for both of our finalists tonight. And Barry, if I can grab a quick word with you. Barry, you always seem to meet this man in finals when he's coming back from a very long sabbatical. To quote Jimmy White, you really must be beginning to annoy you now, yeah?
Yeah, I wish he'd retire, to be fair. No, I'm so disappointed in my performance today, to be fair, and I didn't give Ronny a game at all, and I just said to him there, if he thought he was queuing around corners the other day, he should have felt my arm today, because I was all over the place. I didn't feel like I could put a ball in the end, so yeah, it's just the way it goes sometimes, and bit disappointing, really.
Barry, how difficult was it to follow up that wonderful performance against Judd Trump yesterday? 3 centuries and 2 70s in there, and you come out into this final. It was a very big occasion for you. You got a lot to reflect on. It's the first time you've actually got past the first round. What are the positives you will take away from this week?
Yeah, if someone said to me I'd have got to the final at the start of the week and played Ronnie in the final, then I'd have ripped their arm off probably. But when you get to the final, you want to perform, and it's hard to take positives at the moment because I'm just a bit disappointed the way I performed today. But I played well most of the week, so I'm sure I'll look back at it and think, yeah, I've done well. So yeah, there you go. It's just one of them things.
It is indeed. Barry Hawkins, thank you very much. Well played. Ronny O'Sullivan, champion of the Masters once again for a 6th time. And I tell you what, after 8 months away, and I know the perfectionist you are, even you must be really chuffed in that performance today.
Yeah, I'm over the moon, you know. I watched Barry play in his semi-final against Judd Trump, and I just thought, you know, I knew I needed to raise my level and play like I did against Selby, and today I was able to do that, and I just think I just managed to manage my emotions well, you know. Such a big occasion against someone that I knew was in form, so I'm delighted that I've been able to play as well as I have done today.
Well, you were really down on yourself yesterday in the interview when you came into the studio last night, but I just wonder what's made the difference today. Dr. Steve Peters arrived here this morning, and did that help you?
Well, having him here put pressure on me because I had to behave myself, you know. So, no, you know, I just kind of, he just mentioned a couple of things to me, and I was just like, you know, he's right. You know, I knew I just had to just focus on playing each ball and just getting involved in the match, and I was able to do that today. And it was just a shame Barry just never, you know, if he'd have played like he did in the semis, then we could have had a brilliant match. But, you know, I'm just well done to Barry, you know, because he had another great tournament.
8 months away, Ronnie. How surprised are you to be standing here as a champion?
Yeah, I'm never normally surprised that I win tournaments. You know, I'm surprised that I've won my first one back after 8 months. But you know, I still think, you know, if I can produce some form, it doesn't matter how much time you take out. You know, you still have the talent and the game there. So it's just about producing it on you know, when it matters. And I was able to do it this week.
Well, you're now level with the great Stephen Hendry on 6 Masters titles. He's a couple ahead of you in the world titles. And I just wonder, what sort of motivation is it still to keep chasing that now?
I mean, this is just a week, so you can kind of like manage to keep your form it's easier to keep your form for a week, but for 17 days, you know, that's a grind, you know. But you know, I'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. What's
the schedule now? Because I know a lot of people watching will want to know: is this you back on the circuit? Is this you back for the rest of the season? What are your plans? Yeah, well, I'll play in most of the UK events and, you know, the European events and take it from there, really, you know, and yeah, just play whatever you fancy, really. There's so many tournaments these days, you've got the option to pick and choose, which is great now, you know. We used to only have 6 tournaments, and you've got 36 tournaments, so it's great to have the choices, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Rocket, Ronny O'Sullivan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party. Barry Hearn, Chairman of World Snooker, John Crucis, Head of Sponsorship at Dapperbet, and the 1984 Masters champion, the whirlwind Jimmy White. The runner-up receiving the silver medal and a cheque for £90,000. What a run to the final it was for Barry Hawkins. And the winner, receiving a cheque for £200,000. The trophy and the title, 2016 Dapperbet Masters champion, Ronny O'Sullivan. Your champion, Ronny O'Sullivan.
Well, 8 months out, didn't seem to matter. Straight back in, wins the Masters for a 6th time. And just sum up this achievement, because seems to play better when he's had a bit of a break and puts himself under pressure. Stephen comes back and does it once again.
Yes, and I think it would be fair to say, perhaps other than Mark Williams, people didn't perform against him. And I think still to this day, Ronny O'Sullivan puts people out of their stride because they know how good he is. And he put paid to a few players this week who could have given him trouble. And he looks a lot happier than after his semi-final
sure
victory.
Does,
yes.
yeah. I mean, I think at the beginning of the week we did ask him what he was expecting, and he said he just wanted to win a match coming back. I mean, obviously there's a bit of kidology always when Ronnie's concerned, but he didn't seem to be in the most confident form when he came in.
No, as I say, he sets himself very exacting standards, and sometimes you can't win matches playing at your best all the time. So he comes in here sometimes, and as John said on commentary, a bit downbeat and what have you. And he also takes a little bit of pressure off himself. There's a little bit of psychology in there. But listen, he's a fantastic player. We've seen this week he is total box office. I mean, every time he's played it, every session's been sold out. The people are delighted to see him back. We are. It's brilliant to watch. And I thought that performance today was very professional, very businesslike. Played every shot correctly, played hard match play today, and scored when he got his chances. It was very tough to play against.
Yeah, he seemed almost in a different place. I mentioned Dr. Steve Peters, and I know that he came to the venue this morning. We were talking to Damien Hirst about this, and it seemed to make a big difference. Just seemed to calm him down, the right messages in his ear once again, and if not a transformed performance, then certainly an improved one, John.
Yeah, he didn't waste any opportunities, and I say that the shot was there to play the right shot, and there was nothing else played but the right shot correctly. And I thought it was really hard match play. Barry was struggling to get going. Ronnie knew that, and he didn't throw him any lifelines at all. You know, he kept the pedal to the metal, and he just made sure that his opponent was in trouble right the way through that match. It was very, very professional today. I
mentioned to Barry that he must be sick of the sight, obviously, of Ronnie, because every time he seems to take a sabbatical, he comes back and it's Barry that he has to play, and he's just been tough luck in that respect from Barry's point of view.
Yes, but I think from Barry Hawkins' perspective, he said he had a bad day.